see what the Lord has done. You ought to count your many blessings. See what the Lord has done. Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Thank you, Lord.
See what the Lord has done. Count your many blessings. See what the Lord has done. I don't know about you, but the Lord keeps blessing me over and over. Over and over again.
Thank you, Lord.
Hallelujah.
Thank you, Jesus.
Even when I don't deserve it. Oh, He's blessing me over and over and over again. In the name of Jesus Christ.
Thank
We
you,
give
Lord.
honor to our Lord and our Savior Jesus Christ. We thank Him for this day. We thank Him for this night of opportunity we found in the house of prayer. Amen. Once again, in order to be magnified, glorified, His holy and righteous name. Truly, the Lord is good. His mercy does endure forever. Amen. We thank Him for His goodness and for His mercy. Oh, we thank Him for His grace. Because it had not been for the grace and the mercy of the Lord, amen, we would all be about it here. Oh, yes. But we thank God for His goodness, His mercy, His long suffering toward us. Amen. That He's so fit to allow us to be here. Amen. Yet in the land of the living. Amen. Yet with life, health, and strength. Amen. Food, clothes, and shelter. For that we do give Him glory. Amen. That we don't have to be homeless, sleeping out on the street nowhere. The Lord has allowed us to have a place to lay our head and food on our table, clothes upon our back. We certainly give Him honor. Amen for that. Amen. In the name of Jesus Christ. It's good to see each and every one of y'all out tonight. We greet you all in the wonderful name of Jesus Christ. We greet you in the blessed words of grace and peace. In the name of Jesus, we thank God, amen, for our being here. We got here late. Amen, but we got here.
Thank you, Jesus.
Thank God for His accident on the Jackie Robertson that held us up for a good bit of time. But nevertheless, we got here. Amen. Just enough to still be able to give God a little praise and praise.
Amen. Amen.
We thank Him for it. In the name of the Lord. And so we'll go and get on out the way. Amen. We're going to open up the floor for Bible study tonight. We didn't have regular Bible study on the last Friday that we were assembled together. We had to deal with an outside question. And so tonight we'll open up the floor for anyone. And last Friday we were in Florida. Amen. In the morning. So there may be some questions that were burning in your hearts and your minds while we were away. And that we did not get answered. And so we'll take the time tonight for a little bit to be able to get into those questions and be able to answer by the help of the Lord what we can answer in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. And I see one hand up already, 2 hands, 3 hands, and 4 hands. And so we'll go in the order and the way the hands were raised. So Sister Shea, Sister Sweeney, Sister Veronica, and then Sister Gloria, in the name of the Lord. All right? And so we'll go in that order. Grace and peace multiply.
My question comes from Matthew 11, verse 29 and 30.
All right, Matthew 11. It's 29 and 30. Amen. It says, take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light.
My question is, what is the yoke?
The question is, what is the yoke?
Yes.
All right. Let's start off with first finding out the definition of yoke to begin with. Do you know what a yoke is? No, not that particular yoke. All right. All right. All right. 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 Amen.
Amen.
So here in this particular passage of scripture, the yoke that he's referring to is that which you put upon an animal in order to guide them or to direct them in the way that you would have them to go. And so Jesus is saying here that he, in similar circumstances, just like in the natural, they would put that yoke upon that particular animal to guide them. He also himself has rules and things that can guide us in our spiritual walk. And but his yoke is easy. And so it is not a hard set of rules and things to abide by. Jesus has a way that's very simple. And so that's what he's saying within that passage of scripture, is that he has a set of things that will guide us as his people, to lead us, to direct us. And those things are easy. It's his way of getting us into the kingdom of heaven. It's easy. You just must simply follow his instruction. Follow his word, follow his way, follow his will. And there's no way that we will not be able to enter into the kingdom of God. His yoke is easy. All right? And so therefore, and his burden is light. Most of the time when we deal with burdens, they're heavy. We deal with heavy burdens. But Christ's burden is not heavy, it's light. And so his yoke is easy, his burden is light. Which lets us know that God's way is a way of simplicity. And God doesn't give us rules upon rules and upon rules. He gives us simple things to follow. Commandments that Jesus Christ gave us were simple, and the majority of them were tied up in one-word things such as love. And he gave the church, 2 commandments, and he said, love the Lord thy God with all your heart, your mind, your strength. He said the second one is like unto it, love your neighbor as yourself. And he said, and in those things, you do those things, you're pretty much you're good to go. And he said the entire law hangs upon that one word, love. And so he instituted the law of love. And so Christ's way, it's a way of simplicity. And he gives us guidelines through his apostles that we ought to follow to live into the kingdom of heaven. Amen. And those things are really simple that are in the word. But men come along and they add extra yokes upon the people, extra burdens upon the people, and things that Christ nor his apostles are placing upon people. And that's what we have to be careful with. But Jesus' way is very easy. It's a way of simplicity. Amen. In the name of the Lord. And it's easy. Amen. Too easy to be entreated. All right? So that's what he's referring to. He does have something to guide us. We are not lawless people. We do have rules and guidelines that Jesus Christ has given us to direct our path in the way of holiness. All right? Amen. In the name of the Lord. Sister Sweeney.
Yes. Grace and peace.
Grace and peace.
My question is concerning Judas Iscariot. betrayed Jesus. The scriptures can't contradict itself, and I was trying to find the other scripture quickly, but it said that after he, turned them over to the ones that were seeking him, that he went and hanged himself.
Right.
But then I was also, and I can't find it right now, said that he fell off of a cliff. Like he committed suicide and fell off of the cliff.
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying to find that portion that said he actually fell off the cliff. But which one is it? I know definitely I saw the scripture where it said that he hanged himself.
Mm-hmm.
But now, did you ever see two versions of that? I've heard two versions.
We can easily look it up.
Okay,
And see
I was looking.
Accounts of how he died. I don't know why people look in the back of their Bibles and they get the phones in their hand. Let's see if there's other Matthew 27 gives which account? We have the account of where he said
He hanged himself.
He hanged himself.
The fifth verse.
All right. So we want the one where, main one that we want is the one about the cliff.
Right.
We have the account of him hanging himself. We want the account of the cliff. Just so we're going to analyze it and see if there's a contradict. Sister Laura, Acts 1:18.
Acts 1:18.
All right, Acts 1:18.
Right, that's the scripture. That's it.
All right, Acts 1:18.
Now this man purchased a field with the reward of iniquity, and falling headlong, he burst asunder in the midst, and all his bowels gushed out. And it was known unto all the dwellers at Jerusalem, and so much as that field is called in their proper tongue, Al-Seldima, that is,
Kildama, the field of blood. All right? All right. Now let's go to the prophecy. All right? Because this was prophesied within the scripture.
Okay.
All right? Yeah? Prophesied within the scripture. So let's find the prophecy. Where?
Zechariah 11. Zechariah 11. Zechariah 11.
Zechariah.
Yeah.
Okay. Read Zechariah. But I'm getting Saul. But read what you saying, Zechariah.
and I said unto them, if ye think good, give me my price, and if not, forbear. So they weighed for my price 30 pieces of silver. And the Lord said unto me, cast it unto the potter, a goodly price that I was prized at of them. And I took the 30 pieces of silver and cast them to the potter in the house of the Lord. Then I cut asunder mine other staff, even bands, that I might break the brotherhood between Judah and Israel.
And Psalms, it only mentions, Psalm 1, in Acts 1:20, he makes mention of the Psalm, of where it was prophesied. For it is written in the book of Psalms that his habitation be desolate, referring to Judas. But it doesn't go in the book of Psalms into in which manner he was going to be killed, or how he was going to partake in that death. Let's go to Matthew,
Okay.
the version of Matthew, was it 17 that somebody said it was in?
We'll come 27.
27? Let's go to
Yes,
Matthew
sir.
27.
Then Judas, which had betrayed him, when he saw that he was condemned, repented himself, and brought again the 30 pieces of silver to the chief priests and elders, saying, I have sinned in that I betrayed the innocent blood. And they said, What is that to us? See thou to that. And he cast down the pieces of silver and the temple, and departed, and went and hanged himself. And the chief priest took the silver pieces and said, It is not lawful for to put them into the treasury, because it is the price of blood. And they took counsel, and brought with them the potter's field to bury the strangers in. Wherefore the field that was called the field of blood unto this day.
All right. There's no contradiction in Matthew and Acts.
Okay.
And the reason why there's no contradiction, if we go back to Acts, the first chapter, and go back to verse number 18.
Okay.
He said, this man purchased a field
with the reward of
the
iniquity,
reward of iniquity.
and falling headlong,
And falling headlong. Now listen to this.
he burst asunder in the midst,
And he burst asunder in the midst.
and all
What
his
is the
bowels.
midst? In the middle. In the middle. So he burst asunder in the middle, and all his bowels gushed out. How could the middle burst unless there is some type of force that would cause
Right.
your bottom half and your top half and your bottom half to come apart?
Amen.
Amen.
So that sounds like he would have hung himself.
Amen.
And from hanging himself from force of gravity, it would cause his midsection or his torso to rip. And therefore his bowels or his intestines and things
Thank
gushed
you, Lord.
out. So we get clarity from the latter part of it to show that what Matthew said he did as far as hanging himself was true. Because if it was meaning that he fell headlong and just fell down into and hit the ground, then he wouldn't have clarified it in the sense of talking about in the midst of his bowels gushing out. He would just maybe made it seem like, or maybe he would have just mentioned that he just fell down. And that was it. We all know what's going to happen once you fall down. So it really wouldn't be no reason for him to kind of talk about the middle of his body, in a sense, being tore apart or ripped apart in that sense. So it still seems like from what Acts is saying, or Matthew is saying, that he hung himself. And from that, it caused the exposure of his bowels and stuff to come out in the midst of him hanging himself. So there's no contradiction.
Amen. God's word can't contradict itself, right?
No contradiction in that.
Amen.
All right, sister, still with this? Okay.
I'm confused. So did he hang himself from off the cliff?
It could. That's what it could have been. Hanging himself off of the cliff, throwing himself down. Maybe using, maybe doing it off of a rock over the cliff. Because in many of those days, remember, in Jesus in that time, a lot of places where they are is more like desert, where there's not a lot of trees, or not a lot of things that they can really utilize to do this. So a lot of their places of being able to do something like that would be cliffy areas, rock areas, and so that's where it sounds like he would have had to have done it from. All right. Just to share.
So when he hung himself in Matthew, right? So
Well, Matthew records it.
Okay, that's what my question was. Are they talking about it now? Or is it like they're recognizing that he hung himself?
No, they know he hung himself. That's the reason why they're convening on the day of Pentecost to get ready to replace that.
Oh, okay.
So they know they're fully aware that he hung himself. But now they are writing this letter to Theophilus, and that letting Theophilus know what was prophesied and how these things transpired, and what was prophesied in Psalms about let his bishopric be desolate and let another one take it. And so they're preparing now to number somebody else in Judas's place to become the 12 apostles, since he is now dead. But they were fully aware. All right? Amen. That's all the questions to that one? To this particular one? All right. All right, Sister Veronica. All right, Psalms 60. All right, Psalms 60:12.
Through God,
Let's start at verse number 5. So we can get the context of what is being talked about.
that thy beloved may be delivered, save with thy right hand and hear me. God hath spoken in his holiness. I will rejoice. I will divide Shechem and mete out the valley of Soka. Gilead is mine, and Manasseh is mine. Ephraim also is the strength of mine head. Judah is my lawgiver. Moab is my washpot. Over Edom will I cast out my shoe. Philistia, triumph thou because of me. Who will bring me into the strong city? Who will lead me into Edom? Will not thou, O God, which hast cast us off, and thou, O God, which didst not go out with our armies, give us help from trouble, for vain is the help of man. Through God we shall do valiantly, for he it is that shall tread down our enemies.
All right. So you want to know what he means by verse number 12? Which part of verse number 12? That through God we shall do valiantly, or the part about him treading down our enemies? All right. What is the definition of defiantly.
That, courage or determination.
Okay. That's the definition.
That's what I saw.
Okay. All right. So the definition is what? All right. Through God we shall do. All right. So through God, they're going to be brave. They're going to be courageous. And they're going to be, what was the other word? Brave, courageous, determined. What else? Heroic or heroes through God. All right? And they're going to do it through God because the latter clause said it shall be him that does what? Trample down our enemies. So their confidence is in not their own ability of fighting against their enemies, but their trust has been totally